Hello, everybody. Douglas V. Gibbs, Mr. Constitution here, and let's talk about the election a little bit. We'll be careful not to say certain things. We don't want to lose our position on certain channels, but was there anomalies or were there irregularities? Absolutely. Can they be proven? From one end, we think we can. Other ends, it says, "Oh, it's hogwash. Don't worry about it." So let's talk about instead not whether or not there was a red wave or whether or not it was as big as we would have liked or whether or not we are gaining ground or not, but how do we resolve any questions? How do we make sure that there are no questions? How do we do the things that are necessary to get away from knowing that there might be some problems? And so this came to me today because I've actually been thinking about the solution for a while, but how to kind of help people kind of get it a little bit kind of came to me today because I was trying to open up this little jar here of sunflower seeds, and on the top it's got this covering, and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to peel it and it's driving me nuts because I can't get it to come off. It's on there pretty good. It's like they not only try to make things child-proof, they try to make everything Doug-proof too, I guess. And then I got to thinking, well, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. So I pull out my knife and I throw a little slit in there and I pull this piece back and bam, I'm in there. There's always another way to do things. And sometimes we don't even think about it and it's obvious. And so I'm thinking about that with the elections. How do we not feel so insecure about election integrity? Well, the answer is obvious, and it actually goes back in history. It's what the founders did. It's what the early members of our system did. Our problem is this. All of the ballots, once they're collected, go to one location. They get counted. And there's no backup. There's no secondary look. There's no check and balance. So you have to trust that what they did is what they did, and it was on the up and up, and what they said is true, and so on and so forth. And for some of us, that's kind of a stretch. We don't have that kind of trust for certain agencies, certain groups, and so on and so forth. And so if we want to make sure that there's not a problem, and first of all, and everybody says, well, we need to go back to paper ballots. I agree. Then the other side will say, well, gosh, there's the ROV, the Registrar of Voters, and all these ballot count, they wouldn't be able to count. It's taken long enough as it is. I mean, we're still looking at maybe a couple weeks away from really knowing some of the winners from the midterm. How, you can't count that many votes, especially if they're just paper ballots. Absolutely you can. That's what they used to do. Plus also there's a backup. There's a secondary document that provides a check and balance. What are you talking about, Doug? Counting the votes at the precinct. If the votes are counted at the precinct rather than at a larger central location, in other words, if you decentralize, oh, what a concept, decentralize things. Let's go back to localism. Let's do things at the local level. Decentralize the vote counting and send it back to the local entities. Have them count the votes. They've got an official document that's signed and people are watching over when it's counted and all that. And they then send the numbers to the central location. And then they put all the numbers together and they present that to the bigger location. And if at one point one of the agencies in between says, hey, we have this number, the agency at the very beginning, the precinct, can say, no, that's not what we sent you. We've got the document here. This is the number we sent you. It creates a check and balance. There cannot be any irregularities and anomalies if we are doing it in a localism type manner. We're decentralizing the ballot count and how they handle it. The founding fathers did not allow for the federal government to federalize elections. They left it to the state legislatures, and the state legislatures left it up to each precinct. That's localism. That's how it works. The moment you start consolidating power, no matter what kind of power it is, into anything, you create problems. So, like with my sunflower seeds, It may not be as tough to get the top off as we think. Might just be a matter of going back to something old and true and tried and we remember and take care of it with it. Localism, decentralization, what a concept. United we stand, combined we kick butt. God bless America. My friends, God bless you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.